Hey, what the hell's going on, you guys? It's Triple Play Negative AE, and welcome back to Higurashi When They Cry. Last we left off, we had just been interviewed, kind of, by Oishi, and Oishi's gonna come by every day to try and see if we're ready to talk or not. We're just gonna continue to see if we can confirm or deny some of the theories that I have. Maybe get some more information. Saw a ceiling I was familiar with. Though I was groggy from sleep, I did notice that I was in my futon like every morning. I looked at my clock despite having turned in so late last night. I had woken at precisely the same moment I always did. So low on sleep, but I guess you really can get up on at the same time every day. The secrets of the human body never cease to amaze me. If I went back to sleep like this, I would definitely not be waking up again. I spurred myself on and slipped out of my futon. Mom asked me about last night at breakfast. Apparently we too had gotten a call asking if we knew where Rika-chan and Satoko were, and Mom vaguely understood that something serious was happening.
じゃあ、昨夜はお友達とみんなで
3時くらいまでかな。うん。
結局そのリカちゃんとサトコちゃんは
I bit warily into my toast. It really didn't have any taste. Just then, we heard the chime go ding-dong. Okay. I looked up at the clock and saw that it was about 5 minutes past my regular meeting time with Rena. It was her at the door.
おはよう。少しは眠れたかな。
何時間寝れた？多分鶏の足でも数えられるくらいだと思う。
Rena seemed pretty sleep-deprived as well. There was something missing from her usual spirit.
学校行くか？
うん。その方がね、きっといいと思うの。
She said, smiling, albeit stiffly. Rena was probably worrying her heart out about those two as well. Even so, she wanted to go to school.
今日お休みしたら、きっと私、だから一緒に学校に行こう。
わかった。ちょっと待っててくれ。すぐ支度するから。
I was just a little bit happy about Rena mustering that much consideration from me. We went to the place where we'd usually meet up with Neon, but she was nowhere to be found. We were a little bit late today, so we thought she'd be waiting for us.
みーちゃん、さすがに今日は起きられん。
あいつにとっては昨日だけじゃないんだよな。一昨日の晩も村長さんを探して徹夜してるんだよな。
We waited for a bit. Time passed until it got to the point where it was okay for us to go on alone, and we exchanged glances.
どうする？もう少し待つか？
At that point, my brain, which had finally been woken up by the morning air, recalled the ominous words Oishi-san had left with me last night. The leaders of the three families were disappearing one after another. Next, it might be the Sonozaki's leader. No, that couldn't be.
行こう。
I doubt it too.
今日は寝かせておいてあげようよ。
I highly doubt. I highly doubt. If what I think is happening, I highly doubt that not Rena, freaking Mion is gone.
ミオン、本当にいるよな。
何か言ったかな。
いや、独り言。行こうぜ。
It's weird that Rena's not like reading my mind, like knowing what I'm talking about. Maybe that's just a fake power that I've given them. I don't know, but it just seems like they have like really accurate. If the first game has anything to say about it, I don't know. The two of us headed to school, but I don't want to talk too much. On the way, we saw a bunch of our classmates accompanied by their parents. It even looked like some of them were being taken to school by car. Surprisingly, the principal was also standing watch at the school gate. I'd never seen that before.
おはようございます。
The principal was bowing to our classmates' guardians. A wooden sword leaning next to him was a little ominous.
前原君、龍宮君、おはよ
おはようございます。
う。先生から大切なお話があるから、いいかね。
I said nothing. The madness that only existed at night had finally crawled out into the sunlight. That's what it felt like. Us conversations that have been spreading for a while now all disappeared like an illusion the moment our teacher walked in the door. Silence dominated the classroom. The principal came in with our teacher as well. It was clearly not a normal morning. Principal cleared his throat and approached the date.
もう知っている生徒もおるだろう。
The dies? I don't know what that is. I'm sure some of you already know this. The classroom was dead silent. Everyone was staring at Rika-chan and Satoko's empty seats. Principal briefly and simply declared that Rika-chan and Satoko had gone missing. There wasn't a single person in the classroom who didn't already know. There seemed to be many, however, who couldn't accept it as the truth. It had been confirmed to them now by the principal's words. There were sobs throughout the classroom, and I heard a kid crying. They steadily spread throughout the classroom. The big-hearted principal wasn't able to keep his cool either.
皆さん、今日から当分の間、登下校は保護者の方と一緒に行います。保護者の方の都合がつきにくい生徒は、集団での登下校プリントを作りましたので、よく読み、保護者の方にも必ず見せてください。いいですね。
Teacher's voice was a little abrasive. Not even she could conceal the strain she felt from this unprecedented abnormal situation. They should have just canceled school today. However, Rana told me that the school was also like a nursery for the students whose parents both worked, so some of them wouldn't want school to be canceled.
では、授業、委員長はお休みですね。では、日直、号令起立
The feeling of wanting to maintain an everyday atmosphere, yet even if only in school, precisely because their lives had been messed up, was something that I agreed with at this point. I was going to say halfway point? Right. As for the teacher who always had her lunch in the staff lounge, she ate in the classroom today. I had to laugh at her curry bento, which was just a rumor until now, but there was nobody to laugh with me. Rena brought her chair over and leant over to my seat. Today it was only the two of us. The fact that we didn't need to drag any other desks over was sad.
眠いね。
ああ、でももうそんなに気にならなくなったよ。むしろ今寝れるくらいのずぶとい神経が羨ましい。
そうかもね。
I was sleepy this morning, but my drowsiness had dissipated after coming to school and constantly feeling the incredible tension. Rena's bento box didn't have its usual luster. That was to be expected. Rena's up for a long time last night too. She wouldn't have had time to make her lunch beforehand. Since it's not like she would have gotten up this early this
遠慮
morning.
なく今日は素直に俺の弁当の方が立派なのを認めろ。
じゃあ遠慮なくいただくね。ああ、しそチーズのちくわ巻きなんて面白いな。
Chikua? Chikua roll? And perilla and cheese. I had to look some of this stuff up.
レナのだって今日のはレトルトだろうけどなかなかうまいぞ。
I realized the two of us were desperately trying to brighten the mood to its usual level as much as we could. I looked around the classroom and it seemed like we were the only ones trying to do so, surrounded as we were by gloominess.
こうして二人だけでお弁当をつつき合ってると、なんだかなんだかだよね。
My laughter grew quieter. I was the first one to mess
ごめ
up.
ん、悪かった。
いい、仕方ないよ。
Our chopsticks both stopped moving. Couldn't keep it up anymore.
リカちゃんとサトコどこに行ったんだろうな。
Those words might have sounded too miserable. Everyone was thinking it using roundabout ways to address the topic, but I came right out and said it. I heard Rena catch her breath.
昨日ね、ケイチくんがいなくなってる間に
ゆうべはすまなかった。頼む。
At that time, since they had arrived for support, Rena was helping the Lady Society cook the miso soup we'd had. They reported all of the information the villagers had gathered, and Rena said she overheard it.
結局何もわからなかったんだろう。学校が終わってから家に帰って二人で自転車に乗ってどこかへ行ったらしいということ以外は全く。
Yana told me that yesterday. We had no clues.
うん、警察の人も家に帰ってからすぐに自転車で遊びに家に帰ってからすぐに自転車で遊びに行くところといったら町かもしれないでしょ。だから沖宮の町でいなくなったんじゃないかって警察は明るくなってから捜査範囲を沖宮にも広げるって言ってた。
In town. It makes sense why we couldn't find them even though we searched all of Hinamizawa then. Still, something didn't fit. I had no basis for thinking that, just a gut feeling. I revealed something to Rika-chan that was likely very important to her that day. Rika-chan had told me to leave it to her. What did she say? Alright, if she didn't work hard, something bad might happen to the dog too, I think. Could have been Rika-chan's way of saying that it was a race against time. Okay. I had selflessly pushed my anxiety on Rika-chan and tried to run away. I have stuff to say, but I'll wait till after we're done here. When I thought about it, I shouldn't have run back then. I should have asked her more about the dogs and cats. The more I think back on it, I really screwed up. Anyway, I don't think Rika-chan was in a situation where she would just go off to play somewhere. Of course, I didn't have any evidence or conviction to base that on. Yeah, why would they do that? I think I have an idea of what's happening. I don't think she'd go into town. I looked back at Rena, startled. I could hear the conviction in those words. Without replying to my gaze, she took her bento box and went into the hallway. I'm going to go rinse this out. She timed that in a way that broke off the conversation. Suddenly I got the feeling that the next thing she had to say would be hard to say aloud in the classroom. I hurriedly grabbed my bento box and followed her. And I didn't go to the kitchenette, but rather to the fountains out back where students seldom went. The water flowed down onto our bento boxes. During that time, Rena didn't say a word. Then, after making sure there were no other students around, she finally opened her mouth to speak.
Rika-chanとSatoko-chanが町に遊びに行っていなくなったなんて、なんだか腑に落ちなくて。私、
聞いた？何を？
婦人会のおばさんたちにいろいろ。昨日のお味噌汁、お豆腐がいっぱい入ってたでしょ？富田豆腐店のおばあちゃんも来てたの。
The tofu shop. Oh, I remember that was one of the stores leading to the hospital. Those lumps of tofu dancing in the bathtub, like... What's his turn? Always looked nice and refreshing.
おばあちゃんね、昨日学校の帰り道にさとこちゃんがお店に寄ってお豆腐を買っていったのを覚えてたの。
豆腐？学校の帰り道にだろ？それが何か手がかりになるのか？
Rika-chan wasn't with her?
いいから聞いて。リカちゃんの家に行った時のこと、覚えてるかな？
I stepped away from the sinks and spread her arms wide to recreate the space of Rika-chan's room.
ガス台にお鍋がかけてあって、その中にお味噌汁が入ってたの。中にはお豆腐が、多分 一丁の半分くらい入ってたと思う。残りの半分は冷蔵庫の中にあったの。冷ややっこにするつもりだったんだね。お皿に開けてラップがかけてあった。
Rena explained she walked around as she was really going through Rika-chan's room.
でもレナ、それが何だって言うんだ？
ケイチ君、お味噌汁のお豆腐って本当に最後の最後に入れ、つまりお料理してたリカちゃんか、もしくはさとこちゃんはお夕飯の時間の直前まであそこに立って料理をしていたことになるの。
夕食の時間の直前まで。
Everyone was saying that their bikes weren't around, so they must have gone somewhere to play themselves.
三角コーナーのゴミを見たらすごく不吉祥だった。食事やお弁当はほとんどリカちゃんが作ってるんだけど、だからその晩はさとこちゃんがお料理したんだね。
それってつまりさとこに関しては遊びに行かず夕食の準備をしてたってことなのか？
うん。それで私、炊飯釜も見てみたの。炊飯釜には2人分のご飯が炊けていた。
ってことは2人分の夕飯は作ったけど2人とも夕飯は食べなかった、そういうことか？
それで次に冷蔵庫の中も見てみたの。そうしたら残り半分のお豆腐で作った冷ややっこがあったの。それだけじゃない。お夕飯用に作ったおかずも何皿かあって、それらにはみんなラップがされていた。
Usually wrap things so that you can have leftovers for the next day. My mom does it all the time too, using them in breakfast or lunch.
そう。ラップって食べ残しとかを取っておくためにするものだよね。冷蔵庫に入れたということは、少なくともその晩のうちには食べないつもりだったということ。
そういうことになるのか？
ケイチ君、もっとよく考えて。お夕飯を全く手つけずでラップしてあったんだよ。
I like how Rena's like, Keiichi, stop being stupid. Like, what the fuck?
どういうことだと思う？
Think a little harder. Rena.
じゃあ夕食を食べる必要がなくなったわけだ。外食とか出前とかで。
それも突然にね。前もって決まっていたらお料理なんかしない。そしてお夕食はつまりさとこちゃんは2人で食事ができると本当に直前までそう思って。
じゃあ2人で遊びに行っていなくなったというのは間違いじゃないか。
そう。つまりいなくなったのはお夕飯ができて夕食に至るまでの本当にわずかな時間。多分7時頃くらい。
そんな時間に食事もせずに2人はどこへ行ったんだ？
当然そこに行き着くよね。ケイチ君、覚えてるかな？折りたたみ机が置いてあって、その上にお醤油や箸立てなんかが置いてあったの。
Been something like that. Didn't remember.
お醤油の小瓶ね。空っぽだったの。もう一滴も入ってなかった。これじゃあ冷ややっこは美味しくないよね。だから私、流しの下にある醤油の大瓶を探してみたの。
よくそんなところにあるって知ってるな。
私もリカちゃんの家に行ってお料理したことあったから。
Cleared her throat, her face returning to a serious expression.
でね、流しの下を開けてみたら醤油の大瓶が瓶ごとなかったの。
醤油の大瓶がないとどういう意味に？
ここから先は全部レナの想像だからね。だから最後まで口を挟まずに聞いていてね。
Last night, the Toko was making dinner like normal. Rika-chan usually watched TV until food was ready, so she was probably lying down watching a variety show or something. Toko put the tofu in the miso soup, and right when the dinner was about to be ready, she noticed that they were out of soy sauce. The Rika-chan, who had nothing to do, brought the big bottle of soy sauce to a neighbor's house to borrow theirs.
俺、ご近所付き合いってよくわからないんだが、
うん。ひなみ沢ではそんなに珍しいことじゃないよ。
So Rika-chan rode her bike out to get some soy sauce. No matter how long Satoko waited though, Rika-chan didn't come back. Then Satoko called up the house where Rika-chan was going. How much you want to bet that this is Shion's house? And it completely confirms my theory that Shion is part of the evilness. What would... Well, no, because Shion lives in Okinomiya, right? What would happen to... Rika happen to be imposing on you, something like that? Then the other person must have replied something like
う
this.
ちに食事の用意があるから、さとこちゃんもいらっしゃい。リカちゃんはもう食べてるよ。きっとそんな感じで呼び出したんだと思う。
Yoko called Rika a few names in private and wrapped the dinner she had made for them. She put it in the fridge so she could use it for breakfast. And then Satoko got on her bike too, headed for the house where Rika-chan was. Pretty good super sleep. Got there.
でもすでにこの時点でおかしいの。食事ってね、突然やってきた人に振る舞えるほど多めに作るものじゃないんだよ。
Veteran housewife would never normally make so much food that she could feed 2 extra
た
people.
またま偶然作りすぎたことだって考えられる。
それでも絶対に考えられない。
Rena flatly denied
だって
me.
リカちゃんはさとこちゃんが頑張って作ったお夕飯がもうできてることを知ってるんだよ。どんなにお夕飯を勧められたってさとこちゃんのお夕飯を無駄にするようなことをするわけがない。
This was all only circumstantial evidence in Rena's guesswork. Even so, it was all extremely convincing. The only ray of hope we had to topple this situation were a fit of clues.
じゃあレナ、リカちゃんはどこへ醤油をもらいに行ったんだ？
That was the heart of it. It would have to be somewhere she'd be comfortable of asking for soy sauce, and somewhere where Satoko wouldn't think it suspicious that she'd been invited for dinner. But who was it?
レナの推理はここまで。あくまでも想像だからね。警察の人とかには内緒。
隠すことはないんじゃないか。仮に半分しか会ってないとしてもきっとヒントにはなると思うぞ。
ケイチ君、これってひなみ沢の人を疑うって意味だよ。確信もないのに村の人を疑えない。
Saw a few girls coming over to rinse out their bento boxes. We're gonna cut the conversation short there and return to the classroom. I stared there alone, my body bathed in the lively voices of cicadas. Let's think about this my own way. Rena had barely any information to go on, and yet she'd reasoned out that much. So there should be something that only I, who knew far more than Rena did, could deduce. Uishi-san said this last night too, but the incident was definitely occurring within Hinamizawa. Rena might not have wanted to believe it, but it's basically a given that the culprit is someone from the village. The trigger for everything was when the 4 of us trespassed into the forbidden storehouse. Somebody saw us going in there. For the culprits, breaking taboo was a crime punishable by death. So that night, Tomitaki and Takano-san were sacrificed. There were 2 left. Shion and myself. However, before the culprits broke their fangs on Shion and me, they went after the mayor, to whom Shion had confessed her sin. As far as we're aware. Next, they went for Rika-chan, to whom I'd confessed my sin. But what about Satoko? Just a stray bullet? By itself, Rika-chan being sacrificed after I told her everything was mortifying. But Satoko, who was sacrificed for no reason, wasn't all the more regrettable? Everything was mine. No, it's not. Who would be the next to disappear? Be Shion and me next time? Why weren't the culprits going for Shion and me right away, though? If they had enough power to erase the mayor and Rika-chan, why not get rid of Shion and me? If they went for us, well, I wouldn't like it, but I could still tolerate it. What I couldn't forgive was them getting rid of those we confessed to. Now that I think about it, yesterday Shion said something alarming. She felt like someone was watching her. So then was someone watching me as well? Strangely though, I hadn't felt anything like that until now. Even though I'm the root cause of everything, I had never once had that impression. Maybe that was simply because Shion was more cautious than me and I was just careless. That's another story though. Let's get back on track. Why weren't the culprits going after Shion and me? I felt like that's where key to this lay. Could it be they're making a big assumption that I shouldn't have been? Yes. You're thinking that Shion is completely innocent. And I don't believe that to be true. Much as I like her, I do not believe that to be true. That I was a concerned party to this case. And that I had a duty to watch over it until everything got resolved. If you think of Shion as an enemy, everything kind of makes sense. Except for Rika. Well, it depends. I don't know. It depends on a lot of stuff. Well, I'll talk about it towards the end. I heard the ring of the bell declaring the end of the lunch break. Somebody else disappeared tonight? Nobody else did, and I wanted them to get rid of me tonight for sure. And then put an end to all of this. Shion's hysterical voice on the phone last night came back to mind. Planned to murder those close to us first, and then make us as miserable as possible. And then only then would they kill us. At the principal's urging, I returned to the classroom, which was quiet as the streets at night. There were a lot of parents picking up their children after school. It was just like a kindergarten. Students whose parents didn't come went home as a group. We left school with everyone else following the assigned route. Even while leaving, nobody said anything funny. They all looked like exhausted mountaineers silently marching through the mountains. As we went, one left, another. And in the end, it was just Rena and me. I was supposed to escort Rena all the way to her house, but she declined.
本当にいいのか？一人じゃ不用心だぞ。
レナを送った後、一人で帰る圭一くんだってまだ明るいんだもの。大丈夫。
そうか。じゃあ気をつけてな。
Wouldn't it be less dangerous if cause...
あれ？あれ、警察の人じゃないかな。
And I pointed towards my house. It was a car stop. Oh, it's Oishi-san. From out of that car came Oishi-san. He must have been waiting for my return to ambush me. Oishi-san started walking over wearing that annoying grin.
レナはもう行きな。あいつに絡まれると長い。
でも、どうして警察の人が圭一くんに用があるんだろう。太郎。
Rena's a good person. Even when I made a fuss over Rika-chan's disappearance, she never asked me why I did. She could have been suspecting me ever since then, and that would have been okay. Even so, she still hadn't asked me anything. She didn't try to pressure me into revealing the truth.
俺は犯人じゃない。
そんなの知ってるよ。
でも、事件に何の関わりもないとは言い切れない。
No, I had insinuated I was related to the incident. She didn't look at me as though she were looking at something dirty.
今度話すよ。
待ってるね。
じゃあ早く行きな。
We're in a different universe, so Rena could be friendly, which maybe is their twist that Rena's not a demon. It would be an interesting twist to like have a demon attack me and then Rena's like fuck you and then comes in with a bat, you know? That would be freaking surprising. But I don't know what's gonna happen. leaving me alone with Oishi-san who walked.
どうもお帰りなさい。
どうも。
ご家族はお留守みたいですね。
Is it just me or does this guy talk way slower? Is it just his voice actor that's like real dumb to
い
me?
やはや困っていたんですよ。
Like in Steins Gate, there was Daru, and Daru talked almost like him, and I hated sitting through his dialogue. He came all the way to my house. I couldn't only thank my good fortune that my parents were absent. Since neither of them were around at this hour, they would probably be back late.
親父の仕事の関係で帰りは遅いと思いますよ。
そう、それはこう。親御さんに変な思いをさせずに済みます。
Rishi-san pushed my back, prompting me to walk. Seemed like he wanted me to get in the car.
警察に連行するんですか？
I wasn't the culprit, but I was the cause of everything. It wouldn't be weird if he wanted to investigate me. That kind of gave me a resigned feeling.
はい、いえいえ、立ち話もなんですから。車の中、さあ、どうぞどうぞ。
If I got in, I wouldn't have an easy time getting out. If I said no, however, this man might literally, or really, handcuff me, take me away. Jesus, I had trouble with that. I couldn't refuse. I could only accept in good grace. The inside of the car had been cooled too much by the air conditioner, and there was a rusty smell coming from the filter, which must have been cleaned only rarely.
ありゃ、切りましょうか。
He turned off the engine, and it suddenly became quiet. The voices of the Higurashi, with all their cool loneliness, snuck inside. It sounded to me like a chorus of voices lamenting my exorbitant punishment for having harbored such foolish curiosity. For a few moments, while listening to those voices, I myself lamented the days that had been twisted and distorted since last night. Oishi-san, as if waiting for me to voluntarily begin talking, lit a cigarette and listened to the Higurashi. Silence became deafening. I was the one who folded first.
捜査の方はどうなってるんですか？
捜査、何のですか？最近はいっぱいありすぎて、どれのこと？
全部です。
いいですよ。本当は報道管制の敷かれた秘密捜査なんですが、あなたには特別じゃあ、最初の事件からいきます。
Greek deaths of Mitaki-san and Takano-san on the night with Tanagashi.
こっちはお恥ずかしいかな。さっぱり進展なしです。まずは富武、集団で暴行を受けた形跡はあるのですが、自分の喉をかき破るなんて異常な死に方の説明がつか、何らかの薬物中毒を疑っているんですが、
高野さんはどんなか？
同じく焼死死体は検視が非常に困難でして、首を絞められた後にガソリンをかけられたんじゃないかと見ています。管轄がお隣の県警さんでね。あちらさん、自分たちの縄張りの事件だからってあんま、おっと、これは関係ない話ですね。
Police didn't know anything other than the fact that the victims died inexplicably.
ですが犯行時間はおおむねお祭りが終わった直後だろうと見ている。高野さんの方はちょっとあやふやですが、富武さんとほぼ同じ時刻に殺害され、山中に遺棄されたと考えるのが妥当でしょうね。
どうしてわざわざ遠くの山？富武さんも同じように遠くへ運べばよかった。
ありゃ、前原さん、あなたもちろん私もそこは他にもいくつか不審点はありますが、
村長さんの方は何か手がかりはありましたか？
Exhausted that topic, I changed the subject, otherwise he might turn the conversation on me.
失踪された一日の足取りを調べ、手がかりになるようなものは見つかりませんでしたが、一応お話ししましょうか。
He was suffering from severe hemorrhoids.
古い生まれの方って非常にプライドが高いんですよね。それで村長さん、誰にも内緒で鹿骨市内にある大学病院の肛門科に通われていたんです。失踪当日、村長さんは診察の予約が取ってあったんで、朝一で出かけられました。
Apparently people would get in line for hours beforehand, even if they had an appointment.
診察がその後、病院内のレストランで軽食を取られ、この辺りのことは自宅にあったお財布の中のレシートで分かってます。その日は夕方から神社の集会場で 会合の予定があったんです。それで余裕を持ってお帰りになるはずだったんですが、どうもそれで足止めを食ってしまったらしく、家に着いたのは会合の時間の直前でした。
Hold on, I have to reread this. That way I'm completely understanding it. But while he was on the train coming back, there was an accident. It seemed it delayed him a bit. Got back to his house right before the
ご家族が大慌てで神社の集会場に出かけていく村長さんを目撃して、
会合ってのは確かその会合の帰り。
会合は御三家と町会の主要役員が集まって、今年も起こってしまった連続開始事件の対応について協議したものと思われます。
We say that this is true, but I don't believe it. He was a dependable person who would encourage Shia whenever she felt, yeah, that doesn't make sense to me. His painful voice struck me right in the heart.
あれ、
どうなさいました？
Was it that surprised me? I'm sorry, I'm not reading. I'm taking it all in. Then I know it's Higurashi. That was when everything started. The Kana-san Tomitaki died. The next morning, word of the incident, I was out. They planned to talk about it during the evening meeting. The mayor, however, had an appointment at the hospital as he planned, and he went there without telling his family. Got a checkup at the hospital. When he heard to the incident about the night with Tanagashi until he showed up at the assembly hall, everything he was doing that day was done in secret. During that time, nobody had found out that he went to the hospital alone. He ate alone. Got on the train alone. It all meant that he had absolutely no contact with anyone else. He couldn't have even called them on the phone, which means that Shion couldn't have told him everything. Which is, boom, dude, who's psychic? This guy, right here, who was like, you know what, Shion doesn't make a lot of sense right now, because she's only a good character, and this is a horror game, so let's think about how they can use her. Oh my god, did I call it? I called it, right now. I totally understand.
ゆうちゃん、私どうしよ
どうした？話せよ。俺たちの間で隠し事はなし。
う。私、君吉のおじいちゃんに打ち明けたんです。村長さんに。私、誰かにそれを見られてて。
ああ、それで
君吉のおじいちゃん、そしてにっこり笑って本当に笑いながら任せなさい。
Yep. Sweat burst out of my body like bullets. It became one long strand and slid down from my forehead to my nose and fell. Dude, who the fuck called it? This guy. So then, what does it mean? Call her up, dude. Actually, no, don't call her up. That's a bad idea. Jenna learned of the incident from a phone call her father made that morning. Mayor left his house first thing in the morning for his appointment at the hospital. He didn't tell anybody where he was going. Nobody knew about him going to the university hospital. Furthermore, his trade ride back to the house was delayed by an accident. As soon as he got home, he rushed out of the assembly hall. The meeting at the assembly hall began, then continued until it was dark out, and everyone left. Nobody saw him after the meeting was over. He just disappeared. Which meant
前原さん、大丈夫ですか？やっぱり暑いんならクーラー入れますよ。
the part of me was messing with my thoughts, demanding that I not look any or think any further than that. My head was pounding violently, and the fluids packed inside it all blended together until nothing made sense. Dude, I called the F out of it, dude. I called that, like, what, 3 episodes ago? I was like, you know what? Shion's been kind of dormant for a while. It doesn't make any sense that she would be.
前原さん、もしもし。
that feels real good. Feels real good. Yeah, I know this is a part where I should be feeling worried and scared, but I feel really good because I called it. Oishi-san lit yet another cigarette. There was yet another cigarette butt placed in the ashtray. Despite the passage of time, had my thoughts been frozen for over that long?
私、お返しに、今度は前。
Mind had become a gigantic oozing mess. Brain felt like it had been totally minced by the blades of a blender, and I couldn't think. That's why she didn't want you to tell the police. That's why I was like, it's weird that, like, she doesn't want you to tell the police.
ほら、また黙り込む。もし誤解があるようなら、私は別にあなたが犯人だなんて思っちゃいないんです。
Ushi-san gave his best attempt at an adult
あの
smile.
晩、あなたたち4人、次の日にはもう村の知る人は誰でも知る。それ自体は不法侵入として問われるべきことです。そこで何があったかなんです。忍び込んだ人間が次々と犠牲になるような。
何もなかったです。
As soon as I said it, I regretted confirming my presence there, but I knew it didn't matter
本当
anymore.
に何もなかった。だって、現にこうして中に入って、しかも、扉の鍵をつけ、それだけの事態を引き起こす何があの中にあったんです。
Perhaps that was Uishi-san's goal all along, but again, that didn't matter
大
anymore.
昔に使った拷問道具がたくさん、それを高野さんたちと
本当にそれだけ。
本当に
口封じをされるようなとんでもないものが隠してあったんじゃないですか？
Secret poppy workshop, perhaps there were mountains of Soviet or Chinese
不審
handguns.
な木箱やコンテナが山積みされてませんでしたか？
There's nothing as exaggerated as what Oishi-san was hoping for, but felt like in a way there were plenty of terrible things hidden in there. From the perspective of someone who viewed the storehouse as sacred, whether or not I thought I had seen some crazy things didn't matter in the slightest. You know what they haven't explained yet is the sound that Shion heard. But that me and Takano didn't hear, but then Tomitaki heard. That's not explained.
あの細工殿に何か秘密があるんじゃないかと思って捜査令状を請求したんですがね。
Kind of curious if that was just a lie by Shion to freak me out, or if that was like a real thing. Because if it's a real thing, then I'm a little my theories are kind of forming. I don't know. We'll see.
もう空前絶後の妨害工作がありまして、信仰の対象に対する侮辱であり、憲法で定めた信仰の自由をなんたらかんたら。いやもうだから実際に入ったあなたに聞くほかなかったんですよ。
本当に古い錆びて埃を他に目立つものなんて。
では富武さんたちが殺されたのは禁忌を破ったからという制裁だけなんですかね。
I didn't have an answer for that only part.
も いちいち隠しませんけど、あなただけが今日まで被害を免れてるんです。あなた以外は全員が消えたのに、あなただけが無事なんです。
I hope they don't explain that. I hope they just let me
あな
realize
たが無事で、あなた以外が被害に遭う。どん
why
な違いがあったのか。
the police don't know about the police know about Shion.
それが知りたいんです。
There's something wrong with what Oishi-san was saying. You alone. You alone. What?
ちょっと待ってください。あなただけがってどういう意味ですか？
ですから、あなただけが最後の生き残りなんじゃないですか。
Huh.
西宮殿に忍び込んだコソ泥4人組の。あの晩に富武二郎さんと高野美代さんが死に、翌日園崎紫音さんが失踪しました。
Huh?
あなただけが無事に今日までを過ごしてるんです。なぜあなただけなのか。私はそれが知りたいと言ってるんです。
シオンが失踪した。そんなバカな。
I didn't intentionally raise my voice. I didn't care about that. Tomitaki-san died. Takano-san died. Shion disappeared. When did she disappear? What is this guy talking
あれ
about?
とっくにご存知だったとばか。
そんなのは初めて聞い。シオンが失踪した。
遡ると綿流しの次の日に失踪していたことになります。
Going back a bit. Stop saying stuff I don't
園
understand.
崎紫音さんはその日の気分で親類の家を泊まり歩いたりしますので、学校も気分一つでよく先生も困り果ててました。
そんなことは聞いてない。シオンはいつ失踪したかって聞いてるんだ。
ですから綿流しの次の日です。
That can't be true. Fluids in my body were rational. Yeah, we get it. I simply couldn't endure it. Hang on. And had already disappeared. Then, night, that call, that phone call. Who was that? They called me every night. Encouraged me. We vowed that we would do our best to live on and not be erased. There should have been a phone call with Shion. Call with Shion.
学校は平気で休むし、それを自宅に知らせても取り合ってもらえない。そんなこんなで彼女が失踪したことに気づくのにだいぶ時間がかかったんですよ。ほら覚えてませんか。綿流しの次の日に私たちあの時シオンさんもいましたよね。あれが最後の目撃なんです。あの後彼女の
そんなバカな。そんなバカな。
Oishi-san had only caught me and Shion bounded away, lying that she needed to go to work. Didn't she
エ
call
ン
me
ジェル
that
ノ
night?
ートっていうファミレスのバイト、あの日から無断欠今日に至るまで全てを無断欠勤してるんです。
That's when I yelled at her, and then I even called her last night.
お店の人も連絡を取ろうにも取れず困りきってましたよ。
そんなバカな。そんなバカな。
状況証拠だけです。図書館でお別れしてからバイト先に向かうまでこの間に失踪したと考えるのが妥当でしょうね。ご存知なかったみたいですなら先に話せばもっと話が早かったかな。もうこれであとはあなただけなんです。あなただけが西宮殿に忍び込んだ4人の生き残りなんです。次に何か起こるとすればそれはあなたなんです。前原さんどうかご理解を。
Can't be. Can't can't be. It can't be. Shion already disappeared. Couldn't be. Couldn't be. I talked to her the day before yesterday. I talked to her last night. She was going to call me again today. Shion on the phone. Or was Shion on the phone? Shion on the... From Shion.
シオンさんはとっくに次はあなたなんですよ。
Who was on the phone this past night? Who was on the phone this past night? Who was on the phone this past night?
そんなバカな。
Just tell Oishi-san. I feel like if we communicate, do your thing. Okay, that was a good transition to the second part of the story. I imagine, so she was supposed to call me tonight. They made a point of mentioning that, so I guess Shion's gonna call me tonight. And I can't say anything else than I called it. I called it Shion's evil. I kind of knew, even though as much as I didn't want it to happen, that she was going to be evil. And it only made sense that she was. The only question is if she's really disappeared and we're not actually dealing with Shion. So there's a couple theories I have. One, that Shion's evil and she's committing all these crimes. That's why she didn't want to be mentioned to the police. It makes sense why I'm not meeting with her in person. You know, she's just calling me on the phone. It makes sense why she lied to me about telling the old man everything. Everything makes sense if she's evil. The problem now is, what if I'm not actually talking to Shion this whole time, and the person I'm talking to is not actually Shion, it's actually Mion, because they've created a situation where Mion can and will pretend to be Shion at some points in time. They kind of mentioned it at the toy shop when I was asking Mion whether or not she came to my house and gave me lunch or whatever. And then Shion was like, well, which one was it? Was it me or Mion? And then that kind of implanted the idea in my head that they could imitate each other at any given point. Maybe I'm dealing with Shion acting as Mion. I have no idea. So, I mean, that's something that they have to give me, and I can't necessarily predict. But as far as I'm concerned, Shion is not, and she's always kind of been weird. She's always kind of been a weird character. As much as I like her, I know that you don't just introduce a character for nothing unless they're going to give some kind of supporting role to the main character, and the role of friend or person that's kind of out of the loop like you is Oishi-san. So introducing Shion was a little bit weird, and having two people fulfill the same role is weird. So it only makes sense that Shion is the one that is doing everything. So now, like I said, it's a matter of whether or not we can trust whoever this is to be Shion, or it's Mion in disguise as Shion, or Shion is disguised as Mion. I don't know. There's like a lot of stuff that the game has to give me. So we'll find out on the next episode. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys enjoyed this, hit the like button if you want. Of course, I don't want to make you do anything. But I do appreciate it whenever I see likes on this series. I don't know. I just like reading visual novels and the mystery of it. Some of them are better than others, obviously, but it's like reading a book. It's like reading a book, but there's pictures as well. I don't know if that makes me sound less smart than I guess I'm not very... I don't put off the impression that I'm smart. I don't know. I'm gonna stop talking. Subscribe if you haven't done so already. There's lots of visual novel and roguelike stuff if you're interested in that kind of thing. And I hope to see you guys in the next episode of this, whenever that may be. Peace out, you guys.